Yes. Jim Rapat back in the house with myself, Larry Olubamiwo, and
Damien, actually.
And
Mr. L Rock.
And we are here as always as actors and gym rats to give you our perspective on everything entertainment, especially movie and TV. So with that being said, we have a lot of topics today, so let's get right into it with our first topic. And that is the upcoming fight at the weekend with Tyson Fury against Dillian Whyte. So yeah, this is obviously Tyson Fury defending his WBC heavyweight title against Dillian, who has been waiting for this chance
a long time.
Hasn't helped himself at all with his antics, and also hasn't helped himself getting knocked out by Povetkin.
Yeah, that didn't help.
So yeah, anyway, he's finally got his chance. Hasn't been promoting the fight, as you can tell. He's only just shown up. Didn't even show up to the public workout. Just showed up for the face-off. But he still wants his 8 million guaranteed, right? So there you go. Anyway, who wants to go first on this fight?
I think you need to
go.
You need to give us
We'll just chime in.
We're chiming.
Right. I know both of these guys. Obviously, I came up with Tyson Fury. I actually almost fought for Tyson Fury as an amateur. So the first national novice championship that I entered, he was in. I got to the quarterfinals. He actually won it.
Would he have punched you up?
Probably.
Yeah. Just being honest, that's it. Like.
And I eventually, the next national novice title, championship, I entered. He went to the ABA's proper and won that one. Beat a clubmate of mine, Damien Campbell. I decided to do the novices again because I knew I could have won that. And I got to the final and then got robbed in the final. And that's when I turned pro.
Right.
Then I was supposed to fight him again when I won the English title eliminator against Dave Ferguson, and Tyson Fury had the English title at that point, and he beat John McDermott.
Oh, okay.
But that fight never happened. Thank God it didn't. And then with Dillian, me and Tyson have been friendly ever since. We still talk now and again. With Dillian, me and Dillian were actually good friends at one point. He was actually one of my chief sparring partners.
Oh, okay.
He helped me with a lot of fights, sparring wise. Especially the first Sexton fight that I had. We fell out because for some strange reason, he thought that I told the UK anti-doping people about him using Jack 3D, even though we hadn't spoken in about a year by that point. So I had no idea what
Jack
he was using.
3D as well.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so we fell out over there. It almost got into the streets, that kind of stupidness. You all know what Dillian's like, so there you go. So that's a little bit background as to why me and Dillian don't get on, and that me and Tyson get on. So let's go into the fight.
Right.
I don't see how Dillian Whyte wins this fight.
And that's not because you don't
like him. That's not a biased thing.
No.
Not about along.
Ability is ability, skill is skill.
There's levels.
Right.
Tyson Fury, just on the 3 fights he's had with Deontay Wilder alone, has shown that there's no way Dillian can beat him.
Right.
Because Deontay Wilder would knock out Dillian for sure.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Dillian doesn't punch nowhere near as Deontay Wilder. In fact, I think it's fair to say that no heavyweight punches as hard as Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
And he couldn't stop Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Dropped him loads of times. Could not stop him.
Scary.
Very scary.
That's scary.
When you hit a man with your best shot, and he lays that and he gets that is just, and you saw Deontay Wilder's face when that happened. He thought that fight was done.
He was celebrating.
Yeah.
The minute it connected.
And then you saw him get up and you saw his face just change. It's like, what do I have to do to keep this man down? And he knew he was losing that fight at the point as well. But so Dillian can't knock him out. We know that, right? Dillian's not going to knock him out. Dillian's not going to outbox him because Dillian doesn't have those skills. Furthermore, Dillian doesn't have these attributes being a 6'9" guy with a lot of reach and a lot of leverage in body weight. He's going to bully Dillian
How tall's Dillian?
6'3", 6'3", 6'4". He was a little shorter than me, so I'm 6'4". So yeah, just say 6'3".
Yeah.
So he weighs more than Dillian. He's going to bully. And the thing is, Dillian's best game is in the inside. Tyson Fury has shown that he can fight on the inside as well. And with that added extra weight that he has, and he can carry that weight well, as we've seen in other fights. So again, it goes to my point. How does Dillian win this fight?
What is Dillian's... What's his best attribute? Just
being
inside?
Tough. Being tough.
Oh, just being able to take some licks.
Yeah, and being able to take licks, which we as you can see, if he gets caught right, he's gone.
Right.
Povetkin, while being a decent puncher, wasn't the most powerful puncher because it wasn't the biggest heavyweight around, was it?
No.
And he knocked him spark out.
Right.
That wasn't even like I got knocked down and I was still trying to get up.
Yeah.
He was out.
Cold.
As soon as he licked the floor. So, do you know what I mean? So for me, and I understand you, if you're a Dillian Whyte fan, you're going to back him, man. Cool, no problem. But you got to ask yourself in reality, how does he win that fight? I mean, even if Tyson Fury comes in out of shape, not as well prepared as he's making everyone think he is, even if that's the case, I still don't see Dillian winning that fight because I would argue that's the case when he fought Deontay Wilder the first time. Remember, he was coming off of a 2-year layoff. He was like 26 stone at that point.
Was that a heavy one?
Yeah.
To move like that at 26 stone?
No, he lost the weight. But he had to. But imagine, this is, if you go to training camp losing weight, that's what you're doing.
That's your camp,
right?
Losing weight.
You're losing weight. You're not working on skills. You're not working on anything on how to win the fight. This was what let down Riddick Bowe.
Oh, yeah,
Because he always used to go to training camp fat.
Yeah.
And then the whole camp was all about him losing weight.
Yeah.
And Eddie Futcher got fed up with it and he said, I'm not training you no more.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that is, for me, the key point of this fight. It's like, for me, it's all about how does Tyson Fury want to win and when does he want to win?
Right.
That, as far as I'm concerned.
Does Dillian think he can win?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I think
he wouldn't go in there thinking he couldn't win.
He's that pig-headed that he's going to believe
he can win.
He can win.
Okay. And you know what? I have to respect that.
Yeah, well...
Because that means I don't like people jumping in the ring for money.
No.
Not just for money.
Not just for money.
Yeah.
But jump in there trying to win, believing you can win.
At that level, yes.
Yeah.
When you're fighting for the heavyweight champion of the world, yes.
Yeah, come on. Leave a legacy.
Yeah.
You know,
but
I feel like Dillian Whyte's always just been on the periphery of being known.
But that's his own fault.
But he's never really got there.
That's his own fault.
He's just like, here,
Yeah.
there's the head above water and he's just there.
You know, when you've got a shitty attitude,
Okay.
I'm telling you how it is,
Yeah.
and even you Dillian Whyte fans will know this is true, and you can see it in how this fight is being promoted by him, which isn't being promoted by him.
Yeah.
When you have a shitty attitude and you got a chip on your shoulder, and you think the world owes you something,
That's
that attitude doesn't entice people to want to do you any favors.
Okay.
And that includes giving you a shot at the title. He's been a number one contender for that title, the WBC title, for a while.
Okay.
And he has not been given a shot. He even took the WBC to court. They still didn't give him his shot. Then he got knocked out by Povetkin. Do you know what I mean? He obviously beat Povetkin again to retain that. But if Tyson Fury really wanted to fob him off, he could have.
Yeah.
He could have.
Yeah.
But Tyson Fury just wants to bash him in. And
he does, don't he?
Yeah, he does.
This is like, I'm tired of you. You're just like a bad smell that won't go away.
Yeah.
I'm gonna punch you up and shut you up.
Yeah. Because even Tyson Fury's dad is like, we shouldn't be giving this guy a payday.
Yeah.
And he's getting the best payday he's ever got. Guaranteed $8 million, which is about £6 million.
It always says the biggest fight in Europe at the moment in terms of the actual pay-per-view and everything else. It's already outsold.
Yeah. But you know, and then he gets another $2 million if he wins in pounds. Yeah. So I don't see how Dillian wins this fight, and
we've got a prediction.
So I'm going for Tyson Fury knockout around 9th or 10th round.
Yeah. Damien?
Well, I mean, I don't know Dillian like Larry knows Dillian. I used to work at a place called Urban Kings way back when Dillian used to come down there and train on occasion for his conditioning. And what I will say is, he did put the work in when he used to come down. I will give him that. He used to come down and train with Jude and Wendell, and for his conditioning training, he was always on point. And he came from MMA kickboxing background.
Well, that's what Larry's saying though.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get there by accident.
No,
you can't fake your way to where he got to. He's got ability and he's got some work ethic.
You have to give him his straps in that regard. What I will say is though, to Larry's point, when it comes to ring generalmanship and the ability to control everything that goes on inside there, not just be able to punch heavy. He doesn't got the aces that Tyson has. Fury just steps in there with every ace in the hole. And what people underestimated about him when he went up against Deontay was, right, okay, he's just going to box him and stay on the outside. The moment he bullied him in that second fight, when he came out of the work with Crunk that he did, and he's like, no, I'm going to put it on you. I'm going to bully the bully. Yeah. That shocked everyone. When he dropped him and started literally lashing him up in the corner, which is what you might as well say, he was having fun with him. Yeah, it was scary and it's horrifying. I don't think if he turns up in the same, and he's always said this is a better camp than he had against the last Deontay fight. So if he's turning up with that frame of mind in that condition, I don't see it going the distance. If he wants to hurt Dillian. Now the press conferences, from what I've seen, they've got general respect for each other. He spoke about being sparring partners in the past. He's like, yes, he likes each other. So, and I made a few jokes. So I don't think he's got the same intent that he had against Deontay, because he wanted to hurt Deontay in the last fight. So I don't think he's coming in from that perspective. But I don't think as well that he wants this fight to go any other way, because he wants to retire. He's always said this before, in the next year to 2 years minimum. So this is going to be this fight, probably 2 more and he's done. Yeah. So he doesn't want to lose it. He wants to go out of the clean sheet.
Who does he fight next?
I think he fights
Joshua.
Usyk, the winner of Usyk and Joshua. And I think even if Joshua loses against Usyk,
he fight Joshua.
And he fights Usyk, I think he'll still fight Joshua, because I think even with Joshua losing, it's still a money fight. It's still a money fight.
I still want to see it.
I don't personally. I don't know, because I tell you this now, that would be an easy fight for Tyson Fury.
But that's why I want to see it.
No,
Joshua.
Joshua. Oh, Usyk is a problem.
That would be a problem.
That's a problem.
We know he's a problem.
Usyk's a problem. I still back Fury to beat Usyk, but it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy.
No.
But Joshua, I personally don't want to see that, because he beats Joshua easy. He just outboxes Joshua. He's good. In fact, I guarantee you that would be Joshua's last fight.
Yeah.
That would, because
there's no coming back.
There's no coming back from a fight like that. Yeah. He's going to get beat so bad, and unlike Usyk, he's not going to make it to the final round.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a wrap.
How old is Fury now?
33?
Yeah, 33.
And how old is Joshua?
Around the same age.
Okay.
Around the same age,
There you go.
Yeah. So there's only two fights left for him if he wants it after this.
Usyk and Joshua.
Yeah.
Unless Joby, you get your butt in gear and they give you a fight and you
fight. I don't see Joby being ready for Tyson Fury anytime soon. I mean, he's getting to that level, but I mean, in Tyson Fury, I'll keep him away from Tyson Fury and Usyk. Anyone else, I think he's got a fair chance of beating. Anyone else, this is his mate, Joe Joyce. I do rate Joe. So yeah, but listen.
That's it?
That's it. Right, that's it. So I predict stoppage in the 9th or 10th round. You predict?
I'm going to go 10th round.
Stop Tyson Fury, yeah?
TKO, not a full knockout, but TKO.
Well, stoppage anyway.
TKO,
by Tyson Fury, right? And you?
I think it's going to happen earlier.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I feel like Fury, I just feel like he's going to.
So what round are you saying?
6.
Do you know what though? Because like you said, Sugar Hill has done what Freddie wanted him to do in the first Deontay Wilder fight, and has got him fighting going forward.
Yes.
I could realistically, that could happen. That could happen.
Like it.
And like you said, he has good. Remember, I am friends with Tyson Fury's doctor. Big up Usman Ahmed, and he's assured me the camp has gone fantastic.
Yeah.
So who's to say that that's not the tactics? You know, as you said, it's quite possible.
Don't get me wrong. If he puts him on it early, then it could be probably close. But I reckon it depends on what Tyson turns up.
Yeah. And that's why I say that.
It's all about whether he wants it quick.
Right.
Or he's going to go the long game, run him down. Yeah. Because Fury's ringmanship and the way he works the ring, even when he's like having a rest and a break and just that alone. He can dance around the ring while you're fresh and he's finished. Until he's back.
He can pick you up with a jab for like 6 rounds.
He's a 6'9" guy. If he wants, he can make sure Dillian doesn't get anywhere near him. And make it a very boring fight.
He just picks you up with a jab from like halfway across the ring.
We know he's not a boring fighter, but if he wanted to, he could do a Klitschko on him and just keep him at bay for 12 rounds and win an easy points victory.
Please don't do that. That's boring.
Well, he's not. It's Tyson Fury. Fury doesn't do that.
His name is Tyson and Fury.
Right.
Yeah. So them two names alone say you can't be boring.
He doesn't do that. He gets in the mix, even when he shouldn't. Really, he gets in the mix.
When he doesn't have to.
Yeah, but I think he. If you noticed. In the public public workout session, he was working on the jab and then the uppercut. The uppercut is going to come into play here. And if you remember, those were the two punches that knocked out Dillian with AJ and with Povetkin.
Yeah, Povetkin.
It was uppercuts. Yeah. So he is prone to that.
AJ?
Yeah, when AJ beat Dillian.
Oh, yeah.
It was an uppercut.
Oh, yeah.
So he's prone to them.
And like you said, Dillian likes to come in.
Sweet.
Dylan likes to come in.
Yeah, he likes to come in.
So if you step onto that, it's good night, Vienna.
It's good night. Good night. And as you said, that was a sweet uppercut. Probably one of the best. And do you know what? Do you know? Because I remember when Dylan got interviewed about it and said it was a lucky shot. No, it wasn't. He actually timed it.
You could see he timed it.
And if you watch that very slowly, he was going for the body.
Yep.
And as he went for the body, he saw Dylan's head come up, and then he changed it and brought it up.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I never saw it in that depth. Like, you got to fight.
Yeah. So we look at that. You know what I mean?
The moment he clocked that, I was like, did he just literally change
mid-flow?
I was like,
do you know how much of a good fighter you need to be to be able to do that?
Well,
reflexes and just...
Povetkin is though. He's Olympic caliber. So like,
yeah. 100%. 100%. Do you know what I mean? I always say that it was a shock Povetkin that showed up to the second fight. You know what I mean? I mean, he had a COVID by then, and you know what I mean? He just wasn't the fighter he was. But c'est la vie. That's what happens. You know what I mean? But it's a fight game. Also, I want to point out something that a couple of Dillian Whyte fans keep talking about, that Dillian Whyte has a better resume than Deontay Wilder, and that's why Dillian Whyte would have a better chance against Tyson Fury. I think that's a nonsense idea. The reason why I say that is because if you actually look at Deontay Wilder's record, he fought some very good names. Luis Ortiz, who was feared by a lot. AJ didn't want to fight Luis Ortiz. Dylan didn't want to fight Luis Ortiz. Remember, that fight was often. No one wanted to fight him.
Okay.
He was the bogey man of that division for a while. Do you know what I mean?
Like that Larry Holmes kind of look about.
Right. Remember, the Cuban. Them Cubans don't ramp. You know what I mean? Right. So Deontay fought him when no one else wanted to fight him. And did him twice. They fought twice. Did him twice.
And he made upcoming heavyweights look like they were nothing. Like, Stavern wasn't overly frightening, but he still made Stavern look like he was less than what he was.
Stavern was still a former champion.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he was great, but he was still a former champion. You have to be something to be able to win that title.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And he beat a lot of the guys that AJ beat. Brazil, for instance, destroyed Brazil. Much better than AJ did. Do you know what I mean? So, for that, and then if you look at Dylan's resume, this is one thing I always have about people who shout about Dylan's resume. So if you take the Oscar Rivas fight, he struggled in that fight. That's the fight where he got caught for the Diana ball, and all mysteriously, no one is talking about that. Some money changed hands, obviously, but anyway. So he struggled against Oscar Rivas. The first Chisora fight, he lost. A lot of people remember. That's why I wanted to see the rematch.
Yeah,
he was losing the rematch until he knocked out Chisora. He was losing that fight, right? Then Parker fight. He was lucky to survive that fight. The last 2 rounds, if you remember. Parker almost had him out of there. If Parker stepped on the gas earlier, he would have knocked Dylan out.
Okay.
Right?
That's the thing going into this fight. Dylan needs to have his condition up, because what he tends to do is by the 7th, 8th round,
he's gassing.
He's gassing.
Yeah.
And it's because he does carry a lot in his arms, to be fair, but he does tire.
Fury doesn't.
Fury doesn't.
Fury
and
doesn't.
It doesn't look like he's in shape, but he is in shape. You know,
to box like that for 11 rounds the way he does is just
something else.
So again, like I said, when you look, and then obviously you look at the Povetkin loss. So when you look at Dillian's resume really and scrutinize it, it doesn't stand up to much because he struggled against a lot of the guys that he got wins against. You just see the win on his column, but you don't actually see how he won. It's like, for instance, the difference with AJ and Tyson Fury beating Klitschko. Yes, AJ knocked him out, but he had to go life and death to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas, okay, Tyson beat him on points, but he completely outboxed him and did whatever he wanted in that fight.
Yeah.
So
he controlled the fight.
Right.
Yeah.
So some people might say, oh, but he knocked him out, but he had to go life and death, AJ.
Yeah.
Whereas Tyson Fury didn't even struggle.
I would argue that a different Klitschko turned up to the fight with Fury than the one that turned up with AJ. I think the one that turned up with AJ was more game than the one that turned up with Klitschko.
I don't agree with that.
His wife at the time was obviously going through postnatal depression.
Yeah.
He said he struggled with a lot of the
Yeah,
time.
I get that, but I don't agree with that. Do you know why? Because styles make fights. And Joshua, and this is why I tell you that Tyson will easily beat AJ because the style of AJ likes to get in the mix, and by that time, Klitschko wasn't the Klitschko that he was.
No,
do you know what I mean? That's the Tyson Fury fought a fresher Klitschko. I get what you're saying, and that might have had some, but you have to remember these fights put miles on the clock. So all that 12 rounds he went with Fury, that's put loads of miles on the clock.
Yeah.
So then when he went in against AJ, he wasn't at his, his
best.
Yeah. So it's a funny old game, this fight game, man. But listen, we said our piece. What do you guys think?
Andy Ruiz, where you at, man? Come on, let's go back into this game.
Yeah, where's Ruiz?
Bro, he's got it back in shape as well.
I listen. I
heard he has.
Yeah, he's in really good because he's training with Canelo's trainer.
Yeah, and they've got his weight.
Listen, just on the side note, I've sparred this guy before he turned pro, just after the Olympics. He was fat as hell, and I thought, what's this joker gonna do? And I'll tell you what, the first round, he almost had me out of there in the sparring session.
Yeah.
To the point where at the end of the sparring session, Freddie Roach was cornering me. And Freddie Roach, all he said to me was, you better show me something the next round. That's when I knew I had to do something.
Yeah.
So I had to make him see some stars in the next round.
Okay.
And then we had that mutual respect, like to say, you know what, we're not getting paid, let's just box.
Yeah, it's not fun.
You know, and then we became quite good friends afterwards. You know what I mean? It's a shame he then went to Las Vegas to the Top Rank gym and I never got to speak to him anymore. Do you know what I mean? I didn't have his contact details and whatnot. But yeah, he's a guy that he's a guy that if you remember quite clearly,
you called it
against AJ. I did.
And this is the thing, when everyone was calling him out, the moment because I didn't know much about him, what you said. When
Yeah.
I saw him on the bag, I was like, people are underselling this guy. Like, they don't realise this guy can box. And had he not turned up out of shape from having too much fun with the money that he made off the first fight,
and you know
I
what?
don't think.
You know what? That I would do that. In a way, I mean, like he hasn't seen money like that.
Yeah.
And he's turned 4 and he's like, but I'm fat, I'm still a swinger.
But you know what?
I've gone to the
That's
UK.
when you rely on the people around you. Because
to ground you.
Because if you did that, be sure that I wouldn't allow you to sit on your laurels.
You're not fighting.
Right.
You're not fighting like this.
So put your butt back on the counter, which you've been training for a year.
Yeah.
Go back in.
Get your tits off, and then you can go back in. You're not the ring girl here, yeah. You're the boxer. You know what I mean?
So
you won. You got to win again.
Yeah.
But they're dogging him. He can't get a fight.
No, because he's another division bogeyman.
People don't want to.
People don't want to fight him.
Fighting for what?
Listen, Dillian was offered him. He didn't fight him. All this nonsense about Dillian being the guy that will fight anyone, rubbish. Because he ducked a fight with Luis Ortiz, and you all know that. It's public record. He ducked a fight with Andy Ruiz. He actually ducked a fight with AJ the second time because they did offer him AJ. He was trying to say, you didn't offer me enough money. Well, you're getting a shot at the heavyweight title, my friend. You're getting enough money. Come on.
And then you command the money if you win.
Right. And you're not even number one. Because like here, he was the number one contender. So that's why he's getting so much money. Right. If you're not the number one contender, you're just getting a voluntary. You don't get a say in how much money you get. So you just have to accept whatever's offered to you.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And you know they wouldn't have offered him peanuts. But he's of this, and I know Dillian very well, he's of this lofty idea that he must be commanding millions every single fight. Do you know what I mean? You know, I've got the education, I like to use it.
Yeah. You went to university, didn't you?
Oh, yes.
Man, I got a degree in
So, you know, it is what it is. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to the fight. It might actually be one of the few fights I actually watch.
Okay.
Being a former pro, I don't even watch boxing anymore.
I can't get this guy to watch fights, but I try.
Oh, man. I actually prefer watching UFC nowadays. I actually prefer watching it. Yeah.
We missed some damn good fights last few
We
weeks.
we have to be fair.
Yeah.
This man's been on me, so yeah, we will be reviewing and previewing some more UFC.
Yeah, man.
Going
Let's do
forward.
it. Let's do it.
Yeah, man. But listen, let us know what you think, guys. Especially Yemi, because I see Yemi making some comments on his Instagram.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let us know what you think, guys. Especially you, Yemi.
And Dylan, if you're watching, like and subscribe. And share to your two friends.
You know what to do.
Down below.